Austin. I'm the founder of Basic Utility Vehicle, or BUV. We're based in Indianapolis, and the vehicles are in 29 countries around the world. We developed them mainly for use in Africa and Africa-like terrains. It's a very simple vehicle to help people get crops to market, or the sick to clinics, or distribute water. And I wanted to come up with a very simple yet tough vehicle that could really help people and bless people. We envision thriving communities where isolation due to poverty and undeveloped roads is no longer an obstacle to a better way of life. Our mission is to create unique transportation solutions which relieve daily burdens and empower sustainable economic development to help transform communities in Africa and beyond. We have several different types of people that work with us on a regular basis. Historically, we've often used engineers and mechanic types, but that is shifting or being augmented by people that are into social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, or getting the message out there, working on the website. We're getting ready to do a new website. And so we definitely need help in those new areas as well. As far as volunteers, we have, besides board members and advocates, we have weekly volunteers that come in to either help in the shop or help in the office. And in general, that's usually like one person per day, and they come in weekly. And then seasonally, we have times where we have more volunteers, like say around the BUV competition in the spring. That often takes 10 to 20 volunteers to run that.
Hi, I'm Dan Lutz. I'm involved with Hope in the Harvest Mission International, which is a mission over in Ganta, Liberia in Africa. Basically what the mission does is we teach a course called Farming God's Way to individuals there on the campus of Liberia International Christian College. And what we do with that course is basically teach Liberians how to farm. They've lost a lot of the expertise that they had from the older generation during the Civil War. A lot of the adults were killed, and so the younger generation has lost a lot of the knowledge. So part of that knowledge is farming. It's a very arid, basically farmland that they're living on, but they don't know how to farm. So we're giving them the basic tools to know how to farm. And we used the BUV over there as part of that. We had a couple of BUVs here in Indiana shipped over on a container over to Monrovia. We had the vehicles transported from Monrovia up to Ganta. We used the vehicles to transport fertilizer or black dirt from the areas where we collected it out to the farm. We also used the BUVs to transport lumber. The lumber yard's about 4.5–5 miles away from the mission in town, so we take the BUV in and transport the lumber back. We also use the BUV in kind of a unique way where we'd take it and hook it up to a one-row corn planter and actually use it as a tractor and planted corn, showing the Liberians how they could plant using mechanization if they had that opportunity in the future. So the BUV was very useful because it's a lot better than using a car or some other means of transportation. It's made for rough terrain, and the terrain's very rough over there.
At BUV, we're really into sustainable development and businesses that can grow. And one thing that I've been very excited about the results so far is the economics at the driver level. The owner-operators are doing very well with their BUVs. The BUVs are being profitable for them. They're making their payments, and some of them are even making double payments. So that encourages us that this idea can scale. We still want to get the factory on just as good of financial footing, but at the very base level, the economics are working good. One new development on the BUV project that I'm excited about is the data logger project, and that's basically a little black box for a BUV, and that's going to allow us to trace where a vehicle goes during the day, and that can be good for design purposes. It can also be good if a vehicle gets stolen, tracking where it's at. But I think it'll also be neat for donors. If they've sponsored a vehicle, they can see how active and how busy that vehicle is in Africa from the comfort of their living room. So we're just rolling it out, doing some tests this fall and early next year, and so stay tuned on that one. One new application for the BUV that I'm excited about is the idea of it being basically a mobile library. So it might carry 1,500 pounds of books on it, but it would be on a circuit of villages where it'd visit each village maybe once a week, and kids could check out books and what have you. So in the whole circuit there might be 7,500 pounds or 10,000 pounds of books. And I just think for an area that doesn't have an access to a library, that is a wonderful project for kids to get involved with here in the States, and the whole process of collecting books. There's so many books that aren't used that we could put to good use in Africa. So hoping we can do one of those in 2016 or 17.
One of the areas that we're always on the lookout for people is potential board members, and generally we're looking for a particular skill that they might bring to the table. Ideally, we like to have about 10 board members on the board. We meet about once every 6 to 8 weeks, so it's not a big time commitment, but there is work to do in between meetings as well. And we really like to have people that have sharp business minds as well as a heart for missions. That's a great combination for us.
One way people can get involved is helping us with our messaging and getting the word out. Marketing types, contacting groups that are involved in either humanitarian or mission work and telling them about the BUV. That word of mouth marketing is very helpful to us and opens doors for us. Students can support the ministry by connecting us through their local church to missionaries their church may support in East Africa. We're really focusing on East Africa sales, so if a student connects us with a missionary and that results in a BUV sale, as a thank you, we'll send that student a check for $100, because those connections are very valuable to us, and we appreciate it. On the west side of the factory here is our metal working side. So we have very simple tools, a horizontal bandsaw, grinding machine, cut-off saw, and a drill press, and our welder. So as you can see, it's very simple equipment that's used to make a motor vehicle, and we intentionally want it that way so the investment is lower. On the south wall we have our automotive parts, and the automotive parts is what makes the BUV very tough and reliable, but it also allows people to be able to get parts in country. So for example, in Tanzania we use Nissan auto parts, and they can buy those through the local dealerships. This bench is our electronics bench, and this is where we've been doing the data logger project for being able to track the BUVs, seeing what they do during the day, where they go, and plot them on Google Maps. And this is where that activity takes place. Our warehouse is where we store all the parts for the BUVs. as well as we have a tire changer and a lathe for prototype work. The north side of the shop is basically fasteners, and in the corner here we keep all the hand tools and hand power tools. And then besides these main rooms that you've seen, we basically have our finished goods inventory and storage areas for vehicles getting ready to ship.